Hello, my name is Callie O'Neill. This is Carolina Mason. She's feeling a little ill today, so I'll be the one talking. And today we'll be presenting to you our idea called Clinomax. The problem that we're trying to address with our solution is sleep apnea. For anyone that doesn't know, sleep apnea is a condition in which breathing stops and starts while you're asleep. It can cause snoring, nighttime gasping, and choking. And it can lead to excessive daytime sleepiness, heart issues, and many other issues. And it can also lead to obesity. The opportunity, this year alone, the sleep industry could reach $32.4 billion. And as for numbers, 1 in 5 adults have mild obstructive sleep apnea, which is what OSA stands for, which is around 49 million United States citizens. And 1 in 15 have moderate to severe obstructive sleep apnea, which is around 16 million United States citizens. Our solution, called Clinomax, is basically a pillow that would have like balloons inside that would be able to fill up and move the person's head in order to adjust their breathing passages. And it would be able to do that by sensing the amount of snoring that they're going through with a sound sensor. And it would be able to basically move their entire head so that they'd be able to breathe better in their sleep. There are other competitors in this field. The first is a CPAP machine, which is what most people think of when they think of sleep apnea. It's a small machine that has a constant air pressure that keeps your breathing passage open. The pros of this is obviously that you can breathe while you're sleeping. The cons are that it can be loud. There are a lot of wires involved, and that can bother partners in bed, and it takes up a lot of space. And the average cost is between $400 to $800. The next solution is surgery. This procedure removes any of the tissue that is preventing you from breathing during your sleep. It eliminates the internal cause of obstructive sleep apnea, so it's getting right at the base of it. The cons are it's dangerous, expensive, and it's only 50% successful. And it costs around $3,500. Our most direct competition that is most similar to us is the Smart Anti-Snore Pillow. It's a pillow that moves horizontally on the bed, and this helps the person move their neck so that they're able to breathe during sleeping. It only offers horizontal movement, so it only works for back sleepers or side sleepers, and it costs $480. Our solution is different because it uses like an air pump that would fill with air, and it would be able to move a person's head forward and backward, and side to side. The cons are, right now, we're in development of it, so we'd have to find an air pump that would be quiet enough to be in use while someone's sleeping. And we're still trying to work out the kinks of it. And our aim price is around $300 in order to compete with the $480. The intellectual property, it's a device that can detect snoring and the blockage of any airways. Our basic idea is to have 4 air compartments that would be able to fill to alter the person's head, and a nape in the middle that would ensure comfort for the user. Right now, the consumers would be sleep apnea sufferers and spouses of those who suffer from sleep apnea, because they would obviously have the effects of someone snoring in their sleep waking them up as well. Medicare would help pay for the expenses for older customers, and our goal is to sell directly to customers through online and through stores. The potential, right now, a number that we have is over 65 million people suffer from obstructive sleep apnea in the United States. And if we reach at least 10% of these sufferers, we'd reach 6.5 million people. And if we charge $300 for the product, we could potentially have a $1.95 billion revenue. These are our milestones of what we need. And our goal right now is to get around $500 to make a prototype and go to a sleep lab-ready prototype and a utility patent, and then through the FDA approval process. And hopefully by March 2016, we would reach that goal, not the 2015. And thank you for listening.
Thank you. Well, I have a question. Back when you talked on one of your first slides, you showed some type of a sound meter or sound detector.
Yes.
Now, what type of research do you have, or have you looked into, that the sound meter itself has to do with whether or not because obviously it's for snoring.
Mm.
How does that relate to whether or not that person's airway is obstructed?
Well, the snoring results from any obstruction in the throat. So by hearing the snoring, it would know that there was something wrong with the throat. I think I know, because maybe you're asking how it would know that exactly their airway was obstructed and how to move it exactly.
Well, I'm thinking about the fact that if someone's snoring,
Mhm.
right, and they're a light snorer,
Yeah.
is this pillow going to constantly be moving their head so that they're awake throughout the night?
Yeah.
So if you're a light snorer, is this going to tick off that detector, and then the detector in turn has the pillow with the balloons moving you around? You see what I'm saying?
Yeah. The goal would be, it would try to move you to a position in which you'd have like the least amount of snoring cessations or like repeated amounts of snoring. And hopefully the technology inside the pillow would be able to learn what that position was, and it would try to get you to that position each night.
So the detector would make, the whole pillow would move,
Mhm.
and it has to do with some type of like a minimum decibel level
Yes.
on the detector? Okay.
Or vibration. You're gonna-
Yeah, we also played around with the idea of
Vibration.
vibration as well.
I've got a question.
Oh, go ahead.
But mine's more on the business side, so you've targeted a $300 price.
Mhm.
I'm assuming some type of mass manufacturing. Do you know what your actual cost would be for the product with some type of margin number that you believe that you're going to be able to achieve?
We haven't been able to look like closely into exactly what would make up the pillow because we're still trying to play around with the exact like prototype. In class we've been trying to do that. But our goal would just be able to compete with the other pillow that's on the market, which is at $480. And with the similar materials that they use, I think we'd be able to get to that point.
On that line, I had a similar question. How did you arrive at that 300? And is that, I think what you're answering is it's really you want to be competitive with the pillow.
Yes.
I guess my statement on that, my guidance is at this point, I wouldn't be too concerned about your price, your cost. You will absolutely, but solve the problem.
Mhm.
Find out what you got. Because it might be more expensive than the other products, and that's okay, because you're going to sell a superior product that has more quality. So don't let yourself be constrained by fitting your idea into a box,
Yes.
right? So just, I mean, it's nice to see that you're trying to be competitive, but it's, for business people, we're going to go right to that number.
Mhm.
We're going to make it, okay, deliver that. And that's not where you're at yet, in my opinion.
Correct.
You're just still trying to get funding. Don't limit yourself by
Okay.
driving to a cost. It's important that you capture that data, but you don't need to give it out if you don't need to.
Thank you.
It's a great idea.
Great idea, you guys.
Yeah.
Great idea.
Very good, very good.
There's 3 people on your team. Where is Sam?
Sam couldn't
Sleeping
make
and
it.
testing.
He's in.
He's sleeping and testing out the
What about your testing? Where have you tested this?
well, right now we're talking to Lowell General Sleep Lab there
Mhm.
and making usable prototype. Because right now in class we've just kind of been using like a pillow and putting like party balloons inside of it, trying to like get an idea of how to do that. So we're really trying to go towards getting an actual prototype.
Seems like there is also a similar technology you may have seen at Brookstone with the movable pillow. So you may want to take a look at that,
Yeah.
the way that structure, break that down in there, because I think that between that technology and what you're thinking, whether vibrational or sound or combination of sensors, you could get to a really quick prototype by using that product.
Yeah.
It's already got the, you've seen it, right? It's got the movable balls inside.
Yeah, like a kind of like a
It's a pillow.
massage chair,
Exactly.
like the, how it works. Yeah.
And that way you can lower your costs getting to a strong prototype. But you will have to look at the patents that may be
Mhm.
already filed by that company that has developed that product.
Set?
We are?
All right. Good, thank you guys.
Thank you.
did a great
Good
job.
job.